What's going on, guys? It's your boy Andy Matrix, and today we're gonna talk about the Yakuza. Now, I've actually talked about this topic before, I think like 2 years ago, but the video is quite old, and I wanted to try something else. Well, I wanted to update you guys as to what is going on in Japan with the Yakuza. Okay, so quick story. I actually saw the Yakuza in 2019 when I went to Japan. Now, of course, it wasn't like they were not in front of me. They were having like the Shinto festival in Tokyo in the streets, and of course, you see some of them who had the scale tattoo, the fish tattoos on their bodies. So they were easy to spot out. They were pretty easy to spot out. So yeah, the Yakuza are still around. However, the Yakuza are dying. Okay? And the Japanese Gen Z are actually beating them to the punch. That is Japanese Gen Z criminals. Let me explain. So, the Yakuza are losing to social media scrolling Gen Z in Japan. Okay, this is true. Listen, the Yakuza are aging out. For the past 15 years, their numbers have been decreasing and decreasing and decreasing. I think in the 1980s, 1990s, their numbers were like 100,000. There were like 100,000 members of the Yakuza. And they would travel. They would travel to America, to Canada, to the UK, to other countries, right? Gangsters selling drugs, doing all kinds of, scams. And but now it's actually getting harder for the Yakuza because they are not being allowed to take out loans. They're not being allowed to have phone service. They're not being allowed to have many other things. In Japan, when you commit a crime, people find out that you're a criminal, they will hold you, right? They will hold you accountable forever. Like in Japan, there's like almost no forgiveness for criminals. It's gonna be really hard to find a job after you commit a crime in Japan. That's just a fact, you know. But yeah, so if the police officers, if the police force finds out that you were in the Yakuza at any time, they're gonna report you, and you won't be able to sign up for a phone and many other services, take out loans, maybe cards, who knows, right? And so they're gonna continue their criminal life. Think about that. Um, the Yakuza tries to recruit Japanese Gen Z, but the social media scrolling generation won't join the gang, okay? Gen Z is not willing to do crazy things like kill someone for money when they can just hack into somebody's bank account, sell adult services on the internet, scam people on the internet, which is, becoming a lucrative career, and other scams like owning corn websites, adult websites, the prostitution, and money scams, all that stuff, right? Why join a gang when you could just do that yourself with a small group of people, right? Probably doing phone scams too. I don't know. If you guys remember, there was actually that Japanese girl who was scamming men in Japan for their money. I'm gonna put a link to the video that I actually covered that, like I think a year ago. Now, the Yakuza is old. They're getting old, and they're losing members. I think their numbers have gone down from I think in the 2010s it was like 50,000 members. Now I think they got like 10,000 members. Their numbers are going down, bro. So pretty soon the Yakuza is gonna go extinct. Keep in mind that the Yakuza, they've been around for like 500 years. Yeah, think about that. A gang organization, they've been around for 500 years. They've been keeping the tradition for 500 years, man. It's crazy. Yeah, they're getting old. They can't recruit Gen Z. And like many old people, they can't keep up with technology. That's just, old people and technology just don't mix. Don't judge me on that. That's just, it's just old people and technology don't mix, okay? That's why Japanese Gen Z that choose to be criminals are actually way ahead of the Yakuza, okay? The Yakuza does not understand that in today's economy, physical assets are losing value, and the new asset class, right? The new asset class is knowledge attention and non-tangible assets. Let me explain. Back in the day, you could punch somebody in the street, take their wallet, run away. You know, the police probably won't find you, and then that's how you would, like, you know, you would take somebody's money, take their wallet. However, it is not easy to do that today, right? Because people don't carry cash like they used to. Most people have credit cards, debit cards, crypto wallets, smartphones, right? And let's say, for example, if you were able to steal somebody's phone, which does happen, you know, it does happen. People get their phones stolen, right? Even if you steal somebody's phone, credit card, debit card, crypto wallet, whatever, those things can be deactivated in minutes with a phone call, right? So if you steal somebody's wallet, you know, they can call their bank, and within like 10, 15 minutes, they can deactivate their credit card, deactivate their bank account, deactivate everything, right? And actually, some people won't even be able to hack into your phone because, you know, it requires a password, you know, your fingerprint, a pattern, some code, right? All kinds of stuff. There's so many ways to lock your phone now that it's just, you know, if you're not technologically savvy, if you're not a hacker, you're probably not going to get in, or you're going to have to pay somebody to hack, right? That's just how it is. So, the Yakuza thought that that the new generation was going to pick up where they left off. They said, oh, let's go ahead and recruit some of these young people. They'll make money, you know, they're gonna love making money, right? However, the new generation wants nothing to do with them. The new generation is building their empire, their criminal empire, on the internet, right? Which is something the Yakuza does not seem to understand or know how to do. They haven't figured that out, these old people. And look, some of them tend to be really stubborn with technology. They're so stuck in their old ways that they cannot adapt to the new stuff. And although Japan is still primarily a cash nation, Japan likes cash, that is changing. With all these digital forms of payment, that is changing. And yeah, and the Yakuza, they can't keep up with it, or they're just not willing to learn. You know, it's just, you know, other people, they just kind of don't want to learn stuff sometimes. No disrespect to the oldies out there if you're watching, no disrespect, but this is what happens. So yeah, Japanese Gen Z is making the Yakuza go extinct, or should I say, the Yakuza is kind of making themselves go extinct because they're not willing to adapt. All right, they're not willing to adapt, and technology changes so fast that they're probably not gonna be able to keep up. You know, I can barely keep up, and I'm a millennial. Yeah, I'm a millennial. Like, I recently just started doing content on TikTok. Like, seriously. So, anyways, that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Do you guys want more videos on, you know, Japanese stuff, what's happening in Japan, I guess, with the criminal world or whatever else? Make sure to like this video. Make sure to comment below, share this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for future notifications. Everybody, it's your boy Animatrix. Godspeed, baby.